We got a bad update on Bo Bichette, why the show might not be coming to LA, the show 2.0, and also an update on Tarik Skubal and what it says about his future, and would the Dodgers be a team past next season that would acquire him? Big update on him. Also, the Dodgers acquired a player. We'll get into him, tell you everything you need to know, and we've got the 5 best moves of the Andrew Friedman era. All that more coming up next on this Friday edition of Dodgers Dugout Live.
Live from
It's time for Dodger baseball.
welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Ronnie, the parade. We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock. Milky Magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is Dodgers Dugout Live with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of the media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you're new to the channel, do us a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you want to support every episode, hit the like button, drop a comment down below. This episode is brought to you by the LA Sports Report. That's my new show dedicated to all LA sports. Also, GearUp.LA. That's where you get the best Dodgers t-shirts in the game. Head over to GearUp.LA. Today, no poll question of the show. Instead, we're asking you out there a question. We'll read some responses for during the 7th inning stretch. Gonna have some fun on this Friday. Which current Dodger would you most want to date your daughter? I asked Dodgers fans this a couple of months ago during the World Series, and here were a couple of the responses that I got.
Which current Dodger would you most want to date your daughter?
My daughter?
Yeah, if you had one.
What about me?
Okay, fine then. Which current Dodger would you most want to date? How about that?
Banda, hello.
Bitty bitty Banda.
Hey.
Okay, yeah.
Banda.
Really?
Hands down, Banda. I'll take him for myself.
That's always Banda. Oh my goodness. Which current Dodger would you most want to date your daughter?
I feel like Ohtani's safe. I know that's not gonna happen. Probably Ohtani or Yamamoto, I guess. I feel like I wouldn't trust Teo or any of those cats, bro. Yeah.
Teo, he's a great guy.
I mean, he's Unk, but I don't know.
So there you go. You got Dodgers fans giving me their answers, and I think Anthony Bondo is a perfect answer for the leadoff today.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So we are just 43 days away from Dodgers opening day. We are just Rick Sutcliffe, Ken Howell, Raul Mondesi, Yency Brazoban, Juan Encarnacion. How about Edwin Rios? How about Noah Syndergaard? How about Anthony Banda days away from opening day? And just over a month. Think about how quickly the 2026 season is approaching, but there is still work to be done before the new season begins. And the Dodgers acquired a couple players today. We're going to get into that. But first, let's talk about the moves they did make. A lot of people talking about the arbitration hearings. Let's not forget, you are retaining players you still have under contract, right? So it's not like you're signing them to new deals or anything like that. So you're not re-signing those players or anything like that, but still, you've got to get those deals done. And the Dodgers, they have finished their work in arbitration, and now they're in a good spot to start the process of finalizing their roster after that. Who's going to be the outfielder? Are they going to trade for someone? Are they going to sign someone? Whether it be a Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger, are they going to explore the trade market for a Jaron Duran, a Stephen Kwan, a Wilyer Abreu, a Lars Nootbaar, a Brendan Donovan? Now, as Bob Nightingale, MLB Insider, told us earlier in the week on this show, you're going to see the process around Major League Baseball start to take shape as far as the moves to finish free agency and to finish any offseason trades. And a lot of that has to do with the trade deadline. We got some news from Noel, though. Sounds good.
Not really Dodgers related, but big MLB news. Max Kepler got suspended 80 games for PEDs.
Wow. Max Kepler on those PEDs. I really hope that the ringworm is healed, though. I mean, did he use Fernando Tatis Jr.'s ringworm cream? That's what I don't know. But no, that's big news around Major League Baseball. Max Kepler getting popped for PEDs. And you hope that that's out of the game. But yeah, bad news. Definitely not going to see that for the Dodgers. I mean, the way that they have player development, that's the last thing they would ever want. And yeah, that's really interesting stuff. So we'll get into that. But back to the arbitration stuff and the Dodgers finishing their work there. First was Brusdar Graterol. He signed on a 1-year, $2.8 million deal. But on Thursday night, they made the rest of their moves. Brock Stewart, outfielder Alex Call, and lefty Anthony Bonda. They all came to agreements. Bonda has really found himself with the Dodgers. I mean, he was with 7 teams in 7 years. He was going to retire from the game of baseball, and then he got his joy back by coaching young baseball players, the youth teams. It sparked something, and he makes his way to the Dodgers, and now he's really a stable force in this bullpen. He ends up signing for $1.625 million. That's what I predicted. He earned $1 million in 2025. MLB trade rumors had him at $1.7 million. So around his projections, Brock Stewart was an interesting one just because he's coming off the shoulder surgery and he's not going to be available at the start of 2026. He's got 4 years and 93 days of service time. He was eligible for salary arbitration for the second time, and he's going to take home $1.3 million. And then there's Alex Call, who the Dodgers traded for from the Washington Nationals at the deadline. And he's a guy that's a Super 2 guy with 2 years, 161 days of service time. He went into arbitration for the first time as a Super 2 player, meaning he's among the top 22% of players with at least 2, but not 3 years of service time. And because of that, he gets to hit arbitration. So he's going to make $1.6 million. So now the Dodgers have 19 players under contract for the upcoming season. And with the current roster, with the payroll as it is right now, you're looking at a $323.3 million payroll. That pushes them past the 4th highest threshold, the Cohen tax threshold, which should be called the Guggenheim tax threshold, if we're being completely honest at this point. That's at $304 million. So anything above that is taxed at a 110% rate. Reason why I bring this up is, yes, it's never great to talk about money. No one likes talking about money. But why it's important to you, the Dodger fan, is that it proves once again that this team is as all in and as committed and as invested as always. So you got to feel great about that if you're a Dodger fan. Now, we're going to get into the moves they made. But for a lot of people, this last couple weeks, they're starting to get into baseball again. Maybe you took some time off for the holidays and you're just rewatching the 2025 World Series again. But when the new year begins, that's when you're all in on baseball again. And I just want to get that fan caught up with all the moves that the Dodgers have made. And we're talking every single transaction that the Dodgers have made following the World Series up until today. Quick hitter style, just so you're caught up. November 2nd, Clayton Kershaw, Kike Hernandez, Miguel Rojas, Michael Conforto, Kirby Yates, Michael Kopech, and Andrew Heaney all entered free agency. November 6th, Tony Gonsolin was DFA'd. Ryan Ward, Robinson Ortiz were added to the 40-man. Michael Grove was sent outright to the minor leagues. Then November 6th, Justin Dean, Mr. Hands Up, was claimed outright waivers by the San Francisco Giants. He's since been released. He's looking for a new team. Then November 6th, Alex Vesia's $3.65 million club option was picked up. Then also on November 6th, Max Muncy's $10 million club option was picked up. November 12th, Ben Rortvedt was claimed off of waivers by the Cincinnati Reds. Benny the Vet Rodriguez will always be a Dodger in my book. So glad he's getting a World Series ring. Also, Tony Gonsolin was cleared off of waivers, and he chose free agency. November 16th, Robinson Ortiz was traded from the Mariners to the minor league for minor league pitcher Tyler Goff. So that's a move they made. Then Ronan Kopp was added to the 40-man roster on November 18th. November 21st, Evan Phillips and Nick Frasso were non-tendered. They entered free agency. Then December 4th, Miguel Rojas, he agreed to a one-year, $5.5 million deal with the Dodgers. Miggy Rowe is back. He's getting a bobblehead next season. I'm excited about that. It's not official, but let's be honest. We know he's getting a bobblehead. Probably more than just one. December 12th, this was the big signing. Of all the moves they made, if we're going to rank them, this was number one, and that is the Dodgers signing super closer, super reliever Edwin Sugar Diaz to a 3-year, $69 million deal. Then December 30th, Esteury Ruiz was traded to the Marlins for minor league pitcher Adriano Marrero. A little more on that in a second. Then January 7th, Brusdar Graterol signed a 1-year, $2.8 million deal to avoid salary arbitration. Brock Stewart signed a 1-year, $1.3 million deal to avoid salary arb. January 8th, Alex Call signed a 1-year, $1.6 million deal. And then, of course, on that same day, Anthony Banda agreed to a 1-year, $1.625 million deal to avoid salary arbitration. So that is a list of all of the transactions that the Dodgers have made following the World Series. But wait, there is more, because it was reported this morning by Alden Gonzalez that the Dodgers claimed Ryan Fitzgerald, a infielder from the Minnesota Twins. So the Twins, they DFA'd him a week ago. They acquired Eric Wagaman from the Marlins, so it was really a corresponding move. The Dodgers had an open 40-man roster spot after they traded outfielder Esteury Ruiz to the Marlins last month. That led to the Marlins DFAing Wagaman. So basically, when you look at this, it's essentially a 3-team trade. The Dodgers trade Ruiz to the Marlins in late December for minor league pitcher Adriano Marrero. Miami DFA'd Wagaman off their roster and then trade him to Minnesota for minor league pitcher Cade Bragg. And then the Twins DFA'd Fitzgerald that they sent off their roster, and he ends up with the Dodgers. So you can view this as a 3-team trade if you want to. If you want to have some fun like that, I'm loving fun. Now, Fitzgerald is an interesting depth piece. He turns 32 in June. He just made his major league debut not long ago. He's had this journey to the show that's a non-traditional one. A non-traditional journey to the show because he's played in independent ball. He's played in the minor leagues. They called him up just prior to his 31st birthday, and it's always going to be a big test as far as the offensive production. And he did struggle. Hit 196, had a 302 on base, slugged 457. But the big pros of Fitzgerald and why he's a good depth piece for the Dodgers are, one, he's versatile. He can play all 4 infield positions: third base, shortstop, second base, and first base. Also, on the faster side, only stole 1 base, but was in the 79th percentile as far as sprint speed. And then he was pretty decent offensively in AAA. Hit 277, had a 367 on base, and a 469 slug. And the BABIP was high, had a 349 batting average on balls in play, but this is a good depth piece. They're not going to need an everyday infielder. You got Miguel Rojas and Tommy Edman, and you got Hae-Sung Kim. We'll see if they make a move for someone else like a Bo Bichette. We got an update on that in a minute that makes me believe that that's unlikely, but still, it's good to have a depth piece like this when you have veterans on your team like Mookie Betts and Tommy Edman dealing with some injuries throughout his career here. There's opportunities for stretches where either guys get time off or guys are playing through injury or guys are on the IL. So I like this. They like guys that can pinch run as well, and he certainly has the legs for that. And he also has options too. So the other big reason for this is he has 2 option years remaining. So you could stash him down in AAA. And then if guys get injured, he's someone that has shown the ability to at least look competent in that role. So there's a good example of the Dodgers just being the Dodgers. And what they're doing here is they're saying, hey, sure, we're still hanging on the backboards. We're looking for the rebound. If Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette become available, if Cody Bellinger wants to sign a 4 or 5 year contract, those are all possibilities. But that's not going to, it's not going to stop the Dodgers from trying to get better. Now, look at this dude. Look at the show flow. Look at the stash. I've seen the comments. D-Mac, this looks like, hey, Mom, I want some James Outman. And then your mom says, no, we've got some James Outman at home. Wish.com James Outman. He looks like a James Outman clone as far as his physical appearance. But yeah, Outman is back. Outman is in, and his name is Fitzgerald. How about Ryan Fitzgerald in the mix? So that is the first move that they made. They picked him up. And then another move that was reported just minutes ago during the show. Noel, who else did the Dodgers pick up?
The Dodgers are in agreement on a 1-year deal with Andy Ibanez.
Oh, here we go. Awesome. We got the Dodgers tweeted 14 seconds ago. The Los Angeles Dodgers have claimed infield outfitter Ryan Fitzgerald from the Minnesota Twins. And then Jack Harris tweeted, the Dodgers have agreed to a 1-year deal with free agent infielder Andy Ibanez. Pending a physical, source confirms. So the Dodgers are making some moves here. And anytime you're going to head into the season, having played a ton of baseball, getting depth is always a front of mind, top of mind exercise for the Dodgers. And Andy Ibanez is an infielder. They have now reported his salary. The Dodgers did have a 40-man vacancy, but that was before Ryan Fitzgerald. So if you bring both of these guys in, Fitzgerald and Ibanez, you're going to have to open up a roster spot. So, yeah, the Dodgers are going to have to make a corresponding move. Does this, in fact, impact Michael Ciani, who they brought in a month ago? And he's someone that you look at as a potential option as a defensive replacement, a outfield first type of guy versus what he can do at the plate. You look at Ibanez, though. He was non-tendered by the Tigers earlier this offseason. Is a career 280, 327, 452 hitter versus lefties. Does not have minor league options remaining. So there's a pretty good chance here. This is a guy that's going to make that opening day roster and make some starts. Maybe get some time at second base. Maybe get some time at third base when the Dodgers are facing a left-handed pitcher. He's under team control until 2028. Yeah, this is breaking news, so we're just trying to analyze this on the fly for you guys. So I think that's pretty obvious what they're going to do. And you look at his career, he's going to be 33 for his age 26 season. He's played 5 years in the show. His career line, 254, 305, 389 slug, a 694 OPS, 28 home runs, 5 triples, 59 doubles. Last year with the Tigers, hit 239, a 301 on base, and slug 352. He's been above average bat twice in his career, never for a full season where he'd be able to qualify. But in 2023, He did have a 103 OPS plus, so he's 3% above league average. Hit 264, had a 1.9 WAR season. Some of you guys might know Andy Ibanez, right? He's been around. You know this guy. This is someone that can play second base, can play third base. You can use him as a pinch hitter. And this really also, I mean, if you're looking for him and he has no options and he's going to make the team, how could you have Bo Bichette, right? So we'll talk some Bo here in a second. But what I do like about Ibanez, just from the outset here, he's always been good with runners in scoring position, a 304 hitter in the clutch last season. And then, as we pointed out, against lefties, he's decent. 714 OPS, nothing great, but an interesting move to say the least by the Dodgers. And it is a Friday. I always say watch out for Friday. It's like the Freaky Friday, right? It's like the news dump day. They've been working on deals all week long, so they want to get something done before the weekend begins. He is a 2 outs above average level defender where he has positives as far as his metrics go. 13.5% strikeout rate and 18.5% whiff rate from a square percentage at 30.7. Those are the only positive offensive categories. He's below average in essentially everything else. So Andy Ibanez, interesting. Could this be the trade before the trade? That's always a possibility as well, right? So something's cooking. There's something going on with the Dodgers, and it'll be interesting to see what will their next transaction be, because this is a guy that was non-tendered by the Tigers. And I mean, the initial thing, if you're going really big picture, is one, you're out on Bo Bichette, and two, is Tommy Edman going to be fully healthy when the season begins? And can you trust him at second base? And what does this look like for him in the outfield? That's another thing as well. So, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that he's one of those guys where he sneaks up on you, goes crazy for you in some random postseason game, goes Eddie Rosario or something. I don't know. But he's really easy to DFA. It's the other thing, too. If you're seeing a guy that is not tendered on that kind of contract, if you bring him in and he makes your roster and you start the year with him, if you need to move off of him, you're not going to feel that, right? As far as the DFA and moving off of him, he's got to be on a very cheap contract. Then also, what does that mean for Hae-Sung Kim at second base? What does this mean for Kike Hernandez returning? Because like I said, the number one thing you need to know about him is there's no options, meaning he has to be on that big league roster. And yeah, this is a pretty interesting move, to say the least. And then we'll get back to that. I'm looking for more information on that. Pretty much gave everything you need to know as far as what we know right now. But I love it. This is real news. Things are cooking. Arbitration's over. Player acquisitions. Guys getting claimed. The Dodgers kind of moving around those chess pieces. Now, I was already going to talk about this for this show today anyway. But let's talk some Bo Bichette, because I think in the last 24 to 48 hours, the Dodgers' chances of signing Bo Bichette have gone from like 40% to 30% to 20%. It keeps going down, right? It looked like there was some momentum earlier in the week, and now it looks like that has completely fizzled. And the number one reason why is it came out that, one, Bo Bichette and the Phillies, they're going to have a meeting, Zoom, in person. 2, Phillies players are trying to recruit Bo Bichette. 3, the big one is he's looking for $300 million. And we haven't seen that report confirmed by multiple insiders. But if there's any truth that Bo Bichette is looking for a deal at the $300 million mark, then in the words of the great Randy Jackson, that's a no for me, dog. Because he's not a $300 million player. And look, if you know anything about negotiations, you always want to start high. You're not going to get your high mark if you start low, right? But sometimes in negotiations, when you go too high, you get laughed at, and then they hang up on you, and then it really makes things really awkward throughout this negotiations. Like, there's a difference between, hey, I want a big deal versus this is unrealistic. And when you're talking that kind of money, you're inching towards the Corey Seagers, the Francisco Lindors, those kind of deals. And Bo Bichette is not a Corey Seager or a Francisco Lindor. That's not the kind of cheddar that he's supposed to get. I think for him, it's a $25 million per year type of deal, $25 million for 7 or 8 years, something like that. I mean, if you gave him $25 million for 7, that puts you at 175. If you gave him 27 for 8, he's at around $200 million. And I had him at a $208 million tops contract. But hey, maybe he's thinking $300 million for a 25-year deal, something like that. But yeah, this is not it. This is not the deal that the Dodgers are interested in. In fact, it also came out that according to Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, the Dodgers view Bo Bichette as a second baseman and would look to sign him under a, wait for it, here's the shock of the century. Actually, no, this is the most predictable thing ever, a short-term contract that has a high average annual value. And that the Dodgers only loom as a possible destination for Bo Bichette if he's a second base option on a low-term, high AAV type of deal. So guess what? It ain't happening. Bo Bichette doesn't need to do that. And it doesn't make sense for him to do that. It doesn't make sense for the Dodgers to go big on Bo because you need to address the outfield. It was definitely a luxury just because of the bat, the way that it played up. And essentially you get a second baseman that hits like a first baseman, that hits like a really good third baseman, that hits like a really all-star level outfielder, fringe all-star, sometimes when he's right, a bona fide all-star. But I'm out on Bo Bichette now if he's looking for that kind of money. Bo at 3, no. Bo at 2, maybe. Bo at like 180, let's go. But not under that type of contract. I mean, the defense is putrid. I mean, he's not a shortstop. Say -12, -13 defensive run save. That's well below average. His defensive metrics at shortstop are league worst level defensive metrics. Not saying like Derek Jeter bat. No, I'm just kidding, of course. But I'm not saying that he is the worst shortstop in the world. And it would be nice to have a guy that at least you could plug into that position in a pinch. But he's going to be playing second base. He's going to be playing third base. And sure, this is negotiations and you're just starting high because you want to get something in between. I don't think Bo Bichette's going to get any team that's willing to sign him for $300 million. But you do have the Boston Red Sox. You do have the Chicago Cubs. You do have the New York Mets. You do have the Philadelphia Phillies. You do have the Toronto Blue Jays who are still in on him. But Blue Jays look like they're close to being out. The Red Sox are still dealing with Bregman. And we'll see. Does he want to bet on himself with the Dodgers because he's 27 turning 28? That is a possibility. And if that were the case, I'd sign up for that. But now with this latest move with the Ibanez, with the fact that you still need to get an outfielder, it leads me to believe my takeaway from this is Bo to LA is a lot more unlikely today than it was yesterday. And that is why this is a Dodgers show that goes on Monday through Friday, right? Because if you do a show just on a Wednesday or Thursday, and when you give you that Bo news, things change so quickly and so rapidly in Major League Baseball. And this is real tangible stuff, right? This is very tangible stuff as far as the ebbs and flows, because I can tell you from talking to agents and people in the Major League Baseball industry that when stuff like this gets leaked, it's not leaked by some person sitting in their mom's basement. Mom, the meatloaf. It's not like that, just trying to get clicks and trying to get engagement. No, this is leaked by agents, by front office personnel, because they're hoping that these leaks can further the conversation on ultimately getting some type of deal consummated. But that's the latest on Bo. Another one I just kind of want to briefly touch on is Tarik Skubal. So there was a rumor from John Heyman yesterday about Tarik Skubal saying that the Yankees had contacted the Tigers about Skubal's availability and that the Tigers made it known to the Yankees that it would take half their team to get a deal done. And then on top of everything else, Tarik Skubal and the Tigers, they weren't able to reach a deal and they could go to an arbitration hearing. Now, they still have until the end of this month to agree to a deal, but they were offering him $19 million and he was looking for $32 million. Juan Soto, he set the record when he signed for $31 million with the Yankees in 2024, and David Price holds the record for salary arbitration for a arbitration eligible pitcher at $19.75, and that was all the way back in 2015. So you mean to tell me that the Detroit Tigers in the big 2026 offered Tarik Skubal, one of the best, if not the best pitchers in Major League Baseball? I'm biased towards Yoshinobu Yamamoto, but Tarik Skubal was offered the same amount that David Price was offered in 2015. The disrespect to Tarik Skubal is real. And I think that after talking to Scott Boras in Orlando about Skubal, one thing that stood out to me was how mentally tough he is and how he can still be an elite pitcher, an ace level starting pitcher, despite pitching through, being included in trade rumors, having to deal with stuff like this. And what this says to me is Scott Boras is planting his flag. And what's on that flag is, I'm coming for Yamamoto. I'm coming for Garrett Cole. I get another lead season and a third straight Cy Young for Skubal. We're getting 4. We're getting 350 at the very floor. And that the next offseason, Skubal is going to sign the highest paying contract ever for any pitcher in the history of the game. So if you're the Tigers, you're not going to extend Tarik Skubal. The question is, could things get so bad between the two sides? Could it lead to a trade before the season starts? And he's all but guaranteed to be traded during the season. So guess what? The Tarik Skubal trade rumors and the Tarik Skubal topic is going nowhere. If I'm the Detroit Tigers and you keep him trying to compete this season and maybe it falls off, I'm looking at the Dodgers saying, how healthy is that rotation? Everyone says they don't need a starter because of who they have right now. But if one or two of those guys go down, then you're going to start to have that conversation where does it look like the Dodgers need another ace? And then you see the additional benefits of bringing in Tarik Skubal to help you win a third straight title, hopefully help him win a third straight Cy Young, but then also show him what it's like to be a Dodger. And then when he enters free agency, you put yourself in a more advantageous position to where I'm essentially recruiting this guy. So look, Tarik Skubal is going to get traded. I'm 100% almost confident of that. Like I'm pretty much at 90% that he's going to get traded. The only difference would be if the Tigers could have this great start and they want to have a last dance with him. But yeah, he was absolutely disrespected by the Detroit Tigers. I can't believe they lowballed him like that. That's like, you ever put something on Facebook Marketplace? Have you?
I did. I've done eBay.
You've done eBay?
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of eBay, like way in the back of the day. But like I'm moving, so I put some stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Bruh, like you put like a washing machine up that you got for like $2,000 and someone will be like, hey, I'll give you $50 for it.
It gets disrespectful on there.
The lowballing is crazy on Facebook Marketplace. Let me know down below in the comment section. Am I crazy? But Facebook Marketplace,
No, my dad is like strongly against social media, but he was thinking about making an account just so he could like watch our content. And he ended up switching. He's like, no, I don't want Instagram. He's like, I only want Facebook, so I could go on Facebook Marketplace and buy car parts.
And I'm not mad at that because there's a lot of stuff to be had. Like I haven't like because for me it's like I haven't been on the hey I want to buy some stuff side, but I've had fans tell me, D-Mac, you want to get some cheap Dodgers bobbleheads?
Yeah,
Facebook Marketplace is the way to do it and the place to
I
go.
have a good question for you, Doug. What's one Dodgers bobblehead you don't have that you really want?
Well, we really don't have that many Dodgers bobbleheads anymore, right? Because we got them right here
Or
behind our
one
set.
that's not here or at your house.
I would say the one. I mean, honestly, I think it'd be awesome to have every single, like, in 10 years from now, we look back and we have every single Shohei Ohtani bobblehead, like that was ever created. Imagine just having that on that LA thing.
That would be awesome.
That means we need the gold ones.
Yeah.
That means we need the gold plated Shohei Ohtani bobbleheads. But also, I mean, they actually unofficially released a Mike Burrito one that was like done independently from them. You know,
okay.
Of course, he was the guy that had the radar gun for the pitchers, you know, the legendary Mike Burrito.
That's sick.
I think that would be really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of Clayton Kershaw ones that I didn't get throughout the years. I remember talking to Kersh this season about his bobbleheads, and he just like kind of lost count of how many bobbleheads that he's gotten. So that'd be pretty cool. I think that there's some minor league ones that are pretty cool that we've been able to get, like
Those
the
go
Walker
hard.
Buehler ones, like in the car.
The Kelly ones every year.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. But let us know what's your dream bobblehead. I need to look back and say I have every Shohei Ohtani bobblehead. You know what I mean? Like I need the gold one. I need the gold. And you just wonder like how are they going to like spin this every year? Like what could be new? Like are they going like obviously every year wins MVP. You can drop an MVP one.
Yeah.
You know what they need? Like we need a Shohei Ohtani Cy Young bobblehead.
Yeah.
Like that would be pretty wild. You could collab with him, but I feel like he's going to be very careful about any collabs he's going to do.
Like an Instagram collab.
Like an Instagram collab. Yeah. Like his brands and things like that. But let us know, what's your dream bobblehead? Rose McCarino, is D-Mac drinking coffee? Drinking tears of Padres fans out here. And Blue Jays fans. I think the Blue Jays, I don't got no animosity towards the Padres. I think the Blue Jays fans
Nah, I'm just playing.
in the chat, in the DMs, don't Blue Jays lose. But when we come back, we're going to talk some more offseason. We're going to get to your comments in the 7th inning stretch. And I've got the top 5 best moves of the Andrew Friedman era. And then we've got a special appearance from an old friend. If you watched yesterday's episode, we were talking about old friend of the show, Tony Tater's Antonio. And he's a big air trumpet guy. We got it queued up. He's a big air trumpet guy. Yeah, after the break. He's a big air trumpet guy. And I was saying that it'd be great if he was around because he could do the Edwin Diaz, right? So we'll see if he delivered. Antonio sent me a video this morning of him doing the Edwin Diaz air trumpet. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. Welcome to the Dodgers Nation Podcast Network, your front row seat to everything Dodgers all season long. Home of the #1 Dodgers podcast in the world, Dodgers Dugout Live, hosted by me, Doug McKain. Friends call me D-Mac, and we cover everything about your boys in blue, everything you need to know about Dodger baseball in less than an hour. We've got breaking news, post-game breakdowns, roster updates, trade rumors, in-depth player analysis, Dodgers trivia, you name it. Whether it's a wild walk-off at the Ravine, a key call-up from OKC, we've got the insight, we got the coverage, and we're here for you all year long. We're the #1 Dodgers site on every platform, and we're born and based in LA. We're loyal to the soil. Dodger baseball is what we do. Trusted by tens of thousands of daily listeners, Dodgers Nation is more than just recaps. We are LA. Whether you're in Echo Park or out in the Valley, Beverly Hills, whatever it is, if you bleed blue, this pod's for you. The more you guys subscribe, the bigger we can build, and we can do this together. So stay up to date with our Dodgers Nation post-game shows and breakdowns and podcasts. You can listen while you're lifting, while you're in traffic, or while pretending to answer work emails. We won't tell. Subscribe now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your baseball fix. So if you're a new listener or a longtime listener of the podcast, write us a review and we'll read it on the show. Join the conversation, stay ahead of the game, and never miss a pitch with the Dodgers Nation Podcast Network. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. All right, see some comments here. Jerry Fuss saying he called my man Mike Burrito. Okay, I've gotten accused of this in the past. My man Clint Pasilla, shout out to my guy. He always said I would say Mike Burrito. I'm saying Mike Burrito. right? Mike Brito. I'm trying to pronounce the R. Mike Brito. Does it? You guys, am I crazy? Does it really sound like I'm saying Mike Brito? It's Mike Brito, right?
A little bit. It sounded like burrito. Got to really enunciate.
Mike Burrito. Mike Burrito. I'm trying. I mean, come on, guys. Give me a break. But it's all good. It's all love out there. We've got some comments down below. Roseman Carino saying, D-Mac, let's have a move-in party with the chat at your new pad. Sometimes I'd be saying too much about my real life on this show. I know what you're talking about. Sometimes I'd be saying,
bro, people are gonna go to your Facebook Marketplace and put in a bid just so they can meet you.
Hey, exactly right. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, exactly right. No, honestly, I was at one of my burrito spots. My burrito spots.
Your Mike Burrito spot.
Oh, exactly. And I had a couple fans come up, beat me, and they were like, D-Mac, are you ordering a torta? And I was, they got me laughing. So like that was good times. But let's see. Do we have it queued up?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Tony Taters. We asked him yesterday, can he do let's jump to the 7th inning stretch and we'll get their comments through that. And we'll play at the beginning of the 7th inning stretch and later we'll do the high five. So let's hear from you guys. Let's have a nice long discussion here on a Friday. We'll look for a comment of the show. That's coming up next on the 7th inning stretch.
The 7th inning stretch.
We've got Noel ready to roll, and I want to get you guys' thoughts. Give me a trumpet emoji down below. Rate this out of 10. Here's Tony Taters doing Edwin Diaz's Narco, Timmy Trumpets.
All right, Doug, I need a drum roll real quick.
All right. Brrr.
What's up, Torta Nation? Arriba los Dodgers.
All right, that's a let's go Dodgers, man. Honestly, that was really, I got to give that like a 10. I got to give that a 10. That was quality. I know Tony Taters is he like this guy, he plays air trumpet better than most people play real trumpet. So I got to give him a lot of credit. But let me know down below. What do you guys think about that? Do you give that a 10? What do you think about that? We've got
I think he gets extra points for the background too. Video.
I was actually focusing on him, but it was that he was at Sportsnet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, our guy doing some stuff for Sportsnet, working the camera over there, doing his thing. I will say though, if Sportsnet, if you're watching this, don't just use Antonio behind the camera. Get him. He's at his best when he's in front.
That's what I was gonna say.
The camera.
He would kill us, but I want to post that video like on Instagram of him doing the trumpet, but he would never let us.
Oh my God, he better let us do it. All right, we got Ray Velasquez, D-Mac, the Torta King, no cap. What up, Ray? BC, D-Mac drinking cognac. We got Bruce Davis, D-Mac. You got a washer dryer? I'll give you $60. K Quad King says, D-Mac, there's another YouTube influencer calling himself C-Mac. Hey, what's up? The Dodgers related or what's popping here? C-Mac and D-Mac. I mean, is it Christian McCaffrey? That's pretty cool. We've got Nando. Who else can fart the Diaz trumpet entrance? Come on, man.
Bruh.
Like, come on,
That's
Nando.
crazy.
D-Mac has a nice smile. Hey, a smile for you. Mario, Sieg signed a $300 million deal, and he's way better than Bo. Yeah, as we point out, I mean, you're looking for Corey Seager money. You're not Corey Seager. I mean, the Dodgers, if you're going to give up $300 million, you're looking for Hall of Fame level potential or more. And Bo Bichette, who knows? He could get there. But, yeah, I would definitely not put him in the Corey Seager category, especially when he entered free agency. We got maybe Andy is best friends with Skubal, LOL, D.A. Barkas. Now, you're trying to put all the pieces together on that one. I'm here for that. K Quad Kings, my grandfather could play better shortstop, better than Bo Bichette. All we need to do is dig him back up. Oh man, that's a comment of the show. Finish him. Shout out to your grandfather up there, man. Up there with mine too, so it's all good. Tommy Tanks gets my approval for my daughter or call. 4-seater 777. Okay, yeah. That was the big thing we asked you guys. That's the big here. We'll play it one more time for the streets out there. We'll play it one more time. and you can tell us if you had to pick one current Dodger to date your daughter, who would you pick?
Which current Dodger would you most want to date your daughter?
My daughter?
Yeah, if you had one.
What about me?
Okay, fine then. Which current Dodger would you most want to date? How about that?
Banda, hello.
Bitty bitty Banda.
Hey.
Okay, yeah.
Banda.
Really?
Hands down, Banda. I'll take him for myself.
That's always Banda. Oh my goodness. Which current Dodger would you most want to date your daughter?
I feel like Ohtani's safe. I know that's not gonna happen. Probably Ohtani or Yamamoto, I guess. I feel like I wouldn't trust Teo or any of those cats, bro. Yeah.
Teo, he's a good guy.
I mean, he's unk, but I don't know.
So you heard it right there. That was his take. But let's see what we got here. We've got Tommy Tanks for C. I think that's a really good pull right there. Tommy Tanks, upstanding guy, no doubt about it. D-Mac, what is your favorite memory at UCLA? I mean, there's a lot to pick from, but well, maybe, how about this? I'll tell you on the LA Sports Report later. Dan Marino, D-Mac, I'll give you $50 for your bobblehead collection. Okay, do we got the Facebook? Is it the Detroit Tiger front office, Facebook, marketplace, low ballers here? I mean, come on now. Mr. Classic saying, as much as I love Andrew Friedman, he bombed the trade deadline. That's a fire take. I got some DMs. D-Mac, where's the fire take? There's your fire take.
I saw it yesterday. People in the chat were saying that.
That's the definition of a fire take. A fire take is a hot take, meaning there's some controversy behind that take. And to say that he bombed at the trade deadline, did you not see Ben Rortvedt and what he meant to the pitchers, especially to start the postseason? Did you not see a Dodgers team that wasn't the Padres, like Mason Miller? They're already looking to trade him. If I had told you, and it's kind of tips off at the walk-off, what we got from Roki Sasaki in Game 4 against the Phillies in the NLDS. If I had told you that we were going to get Roki Sasaki and he was going to be able to close games like that, that would have probably changed how you felt about a Duran, a Johan Duran, or a Mason Miller, or David Bednar, or Ryan Helsley, or guys like that, because he was able to perform well. They leaned on their starting pitching. Now, as far as offense goes, we got a lot to talk about on Monday about fixing that offense, and it's going to be a big week of shows. We got Will Klein, we've got Ryan Ward, we got some other guests, so really next week is going to be a big week as well. But I think that some of the best moves are the ones that you don't make, and the Dodgers, it came out today, the Dodgers have the number one farm system in baseball once again. MLB Pipeline's executive poll ranks the Dodgers as the top farm system. And they find guys. They are a combination of built and bought, right? They develop guys, but they also sign guys, right? And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how the team is that it's number. I mean, think about how insane that is. Think about how crazy that is. The team with the number one farm system is the number one team in baseball. I guess that's like a team that has like the number one pick in the NFL is like the number one team in baseball, right? Or the number one team in the NFL, right? It's very tough to do both because the system is designed, especially when you're the Dodgers. Not only are you winning, but you're paying a lot of money, so you forfeit a lot of those draft picks. You lose international bonus pool money, yet they're still able to scout, draft, develop, and put guys into positions to maintain that spot at or near the top of that list every single year. Yeah, Yasiel Puig is the only answer. That's your answer to which current Dodger, or which Dodger, you go all time on this one too. Which Dodger you want to see date your daughter? Yasiel Puig. Yasiel Puig.
He's talking by the studio.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to our guy Yasiel Puig. Puig, I can honestly say Puig is my friend.
Yeah.
Like Puig's your friend. I can say that. Honestly, Puig's our friend. That was a fun day here at Dodgers Nation for sure. Nando, D-Mac and Noel definitely added them on the gram after the interview. You know what? Come on now. That's a bruh. You know, one of these days, I'm going to give Nando, Noel?
DFA of the day.
One of the days I'm giving Nando the DFA of the day. I don't know about, I didn't add them on Instagram for sure, but Foxy Cinnamon, he doesn't trust Teo. He's a great guy. Exactly. No, Teo's amazing. We've got Dave D-Mac. What is up? chowing down on a torta bobblehead. We got BC, Doug Wentz, UCLA with Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook. Ellis Shiva Jones, number 3, Muncie is a solid person. He could date my daughter if he was single and if I had a daughter. Bob Smith, I have the Angels Ohtani double bobblehead hitting and pitching. It is awesome. That's great stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's a part of his history, right? It's a part of his history, so you got to celebrate it. 4-seater, I frequently went to home UCLA baseball games. Good times. Dave, they will need to open one roster spot to add both Fitzgerald and Ibanez. Bye-bye, Ohtani. That's a comment of the show. That's a comment of the show. Pack your bags. Pack your bags, Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani's shaking right now.
Yeah, he's shaking in his boots, man. Dave, he's shaking his New Balances. Dave, they will need to open one roster spot. I love that's a comment of the show for sure. Pablo Ramos, suit up D-Mac might as well. Bob, all-time Mr. Clean Steve Garvey from Bob Smith. Bloodhound Jeff, duh, Blue Jays lose. Allen's D-Mac Dodgers has a trade brewing. That's why they picked up 2 players. That's what I said. Is this the move before the move? Because it's starting to really look like Bo Bichette is increasingly becoming less of an option. Kyle Tucker, the Mets want him. The Blue Jays want him. Is that 10-year deal that he wants out there for him to sign? If that's where he goes, then fine. The Dodgers want him on a short-term high AAV contract. We said it a trillion times on this show. We don't need to repeat it. We actually probably will, just because we know that we get some new listeners every now and then, so we get you caught up. Then the wild card, too, is Cody Bellinger. I mean, Dave Vassay said on his show that their door is still open on a Cody Bellinger reunion. He has exchanged figures with him and the New York Yankees. I think he still goes back to New York Yankees. I think Cody Bellinger's in pinstripes, but if something falls through, you could do worse than Cody Bellinger. You really could. For my Belly Evers out there, we've broken him down as a player a lot of different times on this show, but he does bring that positional versatility. As Freddie Freeman continues to get older, I still think he's the baseball version of fine wine, gets better with age, and those numbers prove that. But he might want to take some days off at first. But then again, it's like, do you put Dalton Rushing there, right? So Cody Bellinger could play first in the future, though. But I think the bat is too big of a risk. I really do. And if Cody Bellinger is going to get north of $200 million, yeah. I mean, like I said, look at the players the Dodgers have paid. They're all Hall of Famers. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, I think ultimately gets there. Bellinger won't sniff the Hall of Fame. Bo Bichette unlikely won't make the Hall of Fame. I think Kyle Tucker makes the Hall of Fame. And that's the thing. The Dodgers are like, hey, we'll buy if we think that there's value into it, but we're not going to overpay for sure. We got 4-seater says old school JT, my daughter. JT for my daughter, of course, talking about Justin Turner. D. Baracus, keep Kike Hernandez away from my daughter. What is that? What are you talking about there? I don't know about that. I'm going to give you a bro there. Give you a wrong there. Dan Moreno, Sandy Koufax can date my daughter. LLJK, Don Davis. I'd have Will Smith date my daughter. That way I could borrow his awesome Porsche occasionally. Yeah, I forgot what he was. I think it was like a backstage. He's got a nice Porsche.
Dude, it's sick.
He's got a white Daytona Rolex.
He got one of the best cars on the team, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, he's got a sick taste in vehicles for sure. A lot of the dudes drive trucks, man. They like those big trucks.
No, what were you telling me the other day? You're like the go-to minor league car is it's a Charger, right?
The Charger or the Challenger. Both of them.
Like
they
Dodge in general.
Right? Yeah, they're all about the Dodge Challenger, the Dodge Charger. That's like the official car, and then they take that car and they drive to Chipotle every day. Like that's that's how it was back in the day.
That's funny.
We got Big Farts Jones. I mean, why would you make that? Here, I like it though. If the Phillies sign Bichette, can they beat the Dodgers? It's baseball. A lot of teams can beat a lot of teams, but we know from last year that the Dodgers not only can win, but they can win when, one, their offense isn't at their best. They can win, two, when they have to go on the road throughout the entire postseason. I think where the Dodgers have the advantage over the Phillies is they have a better rotation on paper, and their best players are better than the Phillies' best players. And a lot of times we see that that's what wins. And then where the Dodgers have another advantage too is They can beat you with their best players, and then their players that you wouldn't expect to beat you also have a big impact. Miguel Rojas and Will Klein. So I think the Dodgers are a much better organization than the Phillies, and I'm basing that off of what? Checks notes. They won the last 2 World Series when the Phillies have not won a World Series in a while. And they haven't won it with that group, with Bryce Harper. We got the Starving Ghosts. I wanted to name my daughter Sandy after Koufax, but X said no way, so I named her Callie after Kershaw's daughter. That's sweet. I like that. Give you a nice little, give you a let's go Dodgers for that. You got Paul DMAC. Have the Dodgers got that outfield need figured out? Bichette is not necessarily a priority. Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, they definitely they have to get it done. I remember being in Orlando, and one thing that Friedman was saying up in his hotel suite was it almost felt like he was giving the vibe like, I almost can't wait for Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette and Cody Bellinger to get signed. Because if it's not at our price, we know that with, let's say, Bellinger signs with the Yankees and Bo Bichette signs with the Phillies, and you've got other names, right? You got Harrison Bader and those types, right? When all those guys are signed, then you start to see the trade market accelerate a little bit. So I agree with that. That they're committed to the process. Guess what? For all you guys that just want to run it back with this group, there's work to be done. There is work to be done if you want to give yourself the best chance of winning the World Series. The Dodgers are not going to rest on their laurels. They will not do that. We've got Philly just won the Super Bowl last year. Okay, we're talking about the Eagles. We're talking about a different sport. Who said anything about that? Bloodhound Lil Jeff, D-Mac. Is it true you're going to be neighbors with Juicy J? What does that even mean? Quad Kings, Claudia. For a daughter, I'd want to date former Dodgers Jack Flaherty and then Kevin Kiermaier. All right. He put a lot of thought in that one. I see right there. But all right, guys, running out of time. So let's get to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
Hits the ball to right field. She is gone.
All right. So today for the walk-off, got a couple of stories to get into. One of them is you're going to have 4 games on Sunday Night Baseball and MLB Sunday Leadoff. The NBC is getting into the baseball space, and I think it's really exciting. I mean, I remember, being a really young kid and just being second grade, third grade, and you would see like Bob Costas doing the World Series. The team now knows the Guardians and the Marlins, and what the NBC product has meant for the NBA getting back into it. Well, now we kind of know what we're going to see. So the NBC Sports on Friday, they announced their entire 2026 schedule, and you've got Sunday Night Baseball, Sunday Night Leadoff games. It's a 3-year deal that goes through 2028, and the Dodgers have 4 games on NBC. That seems low when you consider that it is a 162-game season, but all NBC games are going to be streamed on Peacock. Some of the games are only going to be on Peacock, but these ones are going to be exclusively telecast by NBC Sports. And those 4 games, you've got the opening day game against the Arizona Diamondbacks on Thursday, March 26th. Then you've got July 5th versus the San Diego Padres, July 19th at the New York Yankees, and August 2nd hosting the Boston Red Sox. And all these games are going to be on Sunday. So the NBC Sunday telecast, they all start at 4 p.m. Pacific. So that's really interesting that it's essentially carrying over from what ESPN was. And look, let's be honest. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, that fall off compared to what it used to be with Jim Miller and Joe Morgan and Buster Olney. And yes, Buster's still in the mix. And I think Jeff Passan's the best in the business. And I love Aldo Gonzalez. But I think just the overall production of it didn't move the game forward like you're kind of open to with the opportunity they have, just because ESPN just wasn't showcasing baseball. Like ESPN is about the Cowboys, the Lakers, the NFL, and the NBA. the ESPN kind of what they produce is they've kind of left baseball in the past. So to have a new fresh spin with NBC, I'm excited to see this. I really am. And we'll see if Clayton Kershaw becomes a contributor, because I think that's going to be really exciting as well. But you got the Yankees in July, the Padres, that's going to be exciting. You got opening day, which is, I think, going to be incredible stuff too. So the NBA on NBC, now MLB on NBC, and Dodger baseball is fast approaching. So, hey, you got to get Peacock, though. You got to get Peacock, and you got to get all the apps. And I know it's really frustrating. I like watching games on cable. I'm like kind of old school like that, because I think what you hate now is you can't just channel surf. Like, I have to open up a whole new app, get out of that app, go another app, get out of that app. With cable, it's like bam, 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 bam. You can light up. So I've gotten to the point where I just keep the game on Spectrum. And then if I have to watch a game, an NFL game, a college game on one of these apps, I just watch it on the iPad and I keep the cable rolling instead of going in and out of the apps, man. I don't know. It's just a little rant there. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Special thanks to my man, Noise by Noel Sanchez. Always rock with us. Do we got something at the very end here, Noel?
No, nothing crazy, but we did have Rosemont Carino asking what time is the LA Sports Report going to go live?
So we're going live today at 2, I believe. So come join us. Rams, Lakers, talk some more Dodgers over there. We have a lot of fun over there. That show can get off the rails. Lots of fun. It's the fastest growing all LA sports show. Love us before they all do, guys. It's a movement for sure. And yeah, it's a little different spin on the Dodgers over there. That's all I can say. But yeah, definitely rock with us over there. Enjoy your weekend. Anything breaks, go right over to Dodgers Nation YouTube. You know you'll find me over there. See you guys Monday. And remember that nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
And when the upcoming winter gives way to spring, rest assured, once again, it will be time for Dodger baseball.